Stuart Armour on Reclaimed Radio.
Who loves a bit of Ed Sheeran? Yes, I love a bit of Ed Sheeran. Castle on the Hill and Tate McRae, You Broke Me First. So we've done films. No, not TVs now. We've done films. That was in the last hour. We're in the new hour. It's the 11th hour of Sunday. In fact, it's the 28th of February, which means I will do a show naked on the 29th of February. Don't panic. It's the 1st tomorrow. I'm not going to get naked. Don't worry. That would be a weird sight. But no, I'm kidding. We're in the last hour. It's time to talk TV. And there's only one person I want to speak to. It is the queen of TV. It is the fabulous, who doesn't watch TV, but she's probably done it this week. We'll find out. It's TV Rach. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks, Stuart. Yes, very well. I've watched some TV. I'm ready to rock.
You're ready to rock. That is good stuff. Someone just sent me a picture. I can't say what the word is because it's rude, but they've just sent me a blank. I don't quite understand it. It's just a blank screen, like a white wall, and it has the word "nosy." See you next Tuesday written on it.
Right.
No context. They've literally just sent me this picture, literally right now.
Is this someone you know?
Yeah, someone I know, and they've literally just sent me this. No context. I have no idea what it means. If you're listening to the show, why have you just sent me a blank wall with a nosy "see you next Tuesday" on? I don't get it. You're gonna have to tell me because it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Many of these things pass me by. I think I just people waste their time sending me stuff because I just don't get half of it.
No, me too. Right, so I started the show off with the Pokemon theme tune.
Yes,
because yesterday was the 25th birthday of Pikachu or of Pokemon franchise. So to celebrate it, I'm talking gaming news with the fabulous Pete in about probably half an hour's time. And we are going to be talking about games and Pikachus and Pokemons and things like that. So I've asked Aaron what his favourite Pokemon was. His was Charmander, the little fiery dragon. Mine is Ditto. So I'm asking you, Rachel, I know you were probably in your teens when Pokemon was around, but what is your favourite Pokemon?
Right, I'm going to go Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur, okay.
But only because it's literally the only other one I know, and I can't say Pikachu because that's really good. But if I tell you that less than about 6 meters away from me at the moment, there is a room with small Pokemon figures all over the floor. Wow. So I could have got a whole lesson from my son if I'd been given a bit of notice on this. I could have gone through the whole, and I could have made an educated choice on which Pokemon I actually like. But I know about Bulbasaur because I bought my friend, who's a huge Pokemon fan, a Bulbasaur plant pot, and it's sort of shaped like a Bulbasaur, and it has a little plant growing out the top of it. So that's the reason I know about that one. So I'm going for that one.
Okay, very wise choice. Mine's Ditto, and Ditto is the Pokemon that can transform into any Pokemon, and I completely forgot about that until Aaron reminded me of it. I just like Ditto because he looked like a blob. And it was just a fun Pokemon. But yeah, he can literally transform into any Pokemon. But of course, I had this conversation with Pete earlier as well, and I said that if you had to have a top 5 of Pokemon, obviously I'm not going to ask you because you need your education first. But I said with that top 5, if Pikachu's not in that top 5, I don't want to know you. Pikachu has to be in everyone's top 5. Pikachu is the ultimate Pokemon.
Absolutely, he's the only one that most people know.
Yeah. Do you know how to get Pikachu on a bus?
No, go on then.
Your Pokemon.
No.
No?
No, what is that noise?
All right. I was just playing with my... It was supposed to be a laughter track.
Yeah, that was better. It's better laughter track, that one.
Yeah. So, okay, there we go. That's my Pokemon puns and done for that. But Aaron did give us a little Brucey bonus, as I like to call it, or Aaron bonus. He said that all the Pokemon series are available on Netflix. So if you want to watch the TV, series of Pokemon, go to Netflix, enjoy it.
I will take your word for that. I'm sure they are.
It probably is so dated, I don't know, but there we go. But yeah, Pokemon's available on Netflix. There you go. TV. There we go. That's my job done. Let's talk about TV with you, Rachel. And where are we going to go first?
Right, we're going to start and talk about a program, which is, I always love these things I stumble upon accidentally. And this week I stumbled upon Richard Hammond's Big, which is basically a behind-the-scenes show of the largest structures and machines in the world, hosted by Richard Hammond, of course, who has basically, as long as he's been in the public eye, has been ridiculed for his size. So there is a sort of slight irony in this program, but it's very much kind of I know we're not all big on gender stereotyping, but it's very much a boys' show. It's like following on from Top Gear. Look at these huge things and how they work and the science behind them and that kind of thing. And you can watch it on. Well, I caught it on Quest on terrestrial, but it's also on Discovery and on Sky.
Okay, so the one thing I love about Richard Hammond is he loves kind of this type of thing. He's very much one of those that loves his cars, loves his science, loves his gadgets. So I've seen a couple of episodes of Big previously, like when he did the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, because that's a brand new stadium. And obviously, it's massive, and they've got the big pitch that you can pull in and pull out. So yeah, Richard Hammond's Big. I'm a big fan of Richard Hammond, so I would imagine this is it a new series, or is it kind of looking back at
No, this is probably the one you've seen. There's only one series, there's 9 episodes in it. It didn't go down tremendously well. There was criticism of him perhaps being a bit too old for these kind of boys' toys type programs, and maybe it's all a bit sort of Napoleon complex, etc. So I don't know if another series is going to be made, but this one came out sort of March last year. So it's still relatively current, and I just love it because I love all the people behind it. You get these people who are just so passionate about what they do. That the Tottenham Hotspur one, for example, the guys who are in charge of the pitch, that's their life. Then they're brilliant at it. They love it. They've just got their dream jobs, and I really enjoy the conversations with those people more than anything.
Yeah, of course. Well, I've got the trailer here for Richard Hammond's Big, so let's take a look at the trailer, and we'll be back after this.
In a big world filled with big things, big ships, big tunnels, big planes, you need a big name.
Hi, I'm Richard Hammond.
I go behind the scenes with big stuff. 1/4 of a mile long. The fuel station comes to you. Imagine the points. Tanks, trucks, helicopters, anything the military needs can fit in there. I'm driving a building. I'm climbing inside an engine. I honestly feel like I've been shrunk.
It's like the back of the most complicated washing machine ever.
It's like stepping out of a science fiction movie. This place is nuts. One piece of metal, it's just a car part until now. There, that's the moment. That is the small thing that makes the big possible, no doubt. Deep down into the bowels of the earth. Oh, I'm loving this. If I do it wrong, are we all blown to pieces?
Maybe. Richard Hammond's Big starts Wednesday at 9. Brand new and exclusive on Discovery.
Is this my midlife crisis vehicle?
I mean, the only reason I kept that in, because obviously it's not Wednesday at 9, that's an old trailer, but the only reason I kept that in is just because of the line at the end when he goes, this is my midlife crisis. I think Richard Hammond has had about 12 midlife crises in his lifetime.
Oh, quite possibly. I mean, things, he used to be like the young fit one on Top Gear. I always remember the one where they tried to cycle, they tried to get across London. He was cycling. They had to get from, I think it was from Richmond to City Airport, and he cycled. And I think James May went on public transport, and Jeremy Clarkson, I think he took a boat along the Thames. He did. And they were all trying to race along. But he was like the young fit one who was cycling, and I think he must have won it. I think he won it in the end. But yeah, I think he's... I was saying to you in the break, I think he has this kind of style of doing things, and I think he's done it the same way for a long time. And I think I think he could do with some more opportunities, because I think he's a great presenter, but he seems to do a lot of this kind of boys' toys type stuff, and maybe he needs to have a look at some other stuff. But it's a great show, and the people on it are just brilliant.
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because yeah, okay, you've got Ben Shepherd, who's done kind of like the GMB, and then obviously does things like Tipping Point and things like that. Dermot O'Leary, X Factor, and This Morning. So they they have kind of diversed a little bit. But, you've got Jeremy Clarkson, who literally is just a motor journalist. So he only does Top Gear, really, and kind of...
Oh, he does Millionaire now, though, doesn't he?
Oh,
He wants to be a
okay. Well, okay.
I'm not saying it's a massive evolution, but it's that I think the Top Gear model is brilliant, and there's a new series coming up. Obviously, they've got their new presenters and everything, and so it's really brilliant. Everyone loves it. I think it's great, and I think there's a lot of trying to replicate that kind of energy that you get behind Top Gear, which I think they've done to a certain extent. I mean, this hasn't been well received with the critics, but I think the people and the science behind these huge buildings is definitely worth a documentary. However it's been produced, whoever presents it, it's really fascinating.
Fair enough. Well, that person, by the way, who messaged me the picture has got back in contact, so they must be listening to the show. So hello to you listening to the show. They just said that they had to zoom into the picture. And that's the joke, because it is quite small, the writing for Nosy, C-U-N-T. And I mean,
so is this to do with you doing a show naked? Is this the zooming in thing?
Probably. That's probably what it was, yeah. Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
There's an image I'm putting people's heads there. There we go. But anyway, as we were talking about kind of typecasting and talking about presenters and just kind of doing one thing, and then we obviously talked about Jeremy Clarkson, where he's gone from kind of that into Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Let's talk about another type of presenter who has done who's done a TV game show for the first time. I'm talking about Gordon Ramsay and his bank balance.
Oh God, yes. Yes, I'm not sure about this. I'm not 100% about it.
Why does no one seem to like this, right? I mean, okay, so Kevin, who I work with, Kevin O'Sullivan, slated it, said it's absolute rubbish. Kyle, who listens to the show and obviously has his show on Reclaim Radio, Welcome to the Weekend on Fridays, he doesn't like this bank balance in Gordon Ramsay. I think there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's all right. I think it's quite fun. I like Gordon Ramsay as a person, though, so I suppose that's why I like the game show. I'm buying into Gordon Ramsay. But, I mean, a lot of people have said he can't present the game show, and I just think it's just Gordon being Gordon and trying something different. And he is trying to be himself, but obviously trying to be tame at the same time, because he's on a BBC, which is very kind of minding their P's and Q's as much, if you know what I mean. They don't really swear.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's a bit of a departure, but then I was reading this week about they're putting out some of the old Anne Robinson footage from where she did The Weakest Link and how horrible she was to people, and it's a sort of kind of back to cancelling her and getting her to apologise for all of these things that she said that were slightly offensive in one way or another. Well, they're all pretty offensive, but derogatory for the wrong reasons, and and having her kind of hold over the coals. So I can see why he might be a little bit tame, because it's all going on at the moment.
But going to that Anne Robinson thing, that was kind of the fun of watching it. And I think she didn't mean what she was saying. She was doing it for the entertainment value. And I'm pretty sure she would have spoken to those contestants after the show and kind of, I bet she's a lovely person off screen than what she was portrayed on screen. And I think for me, this is where I'm starting to get a kind of, I'm starting to kind of get annoyed by this. And I don't know if this is just me being a tad right wing here, but things like the gender neutral toilets, people complaining about them, saying that, they shouldn't be allowed. I mean, I'm not being funny. You're on a plane. The toilets are gender neutral. You're on a train. The toilets are gender neutral. Gender neutral toilets means you just kind of really share a corridor. Although the cubicles are in the corridor, anyone can use any of the cubicles. It's just gender neutral. And people are getting upset by this because they feel like women should have their own toilet. And I feel like it's a toilet. As long as it's got a lock on the door and you can do your business, doesn't matter who goes in there.
Well, you see, I feel quite strongly about this because one of my last roles was in a co-working space, and
Right.
they have gender-neutral toilets in there. And someone said to me, well, that must stop all of the women gossiping in the loos, right? Because there's nowhere to stand, right? There's no kind of shared wash basins. You just have your little room, your loo and your sink and your mirror and everything. And I was like, that's an incredibly sexist thing to say, but it did. And as a woman who has previously gossiped in the loos, because you just don't see people. It's kind of the only place you see people is people who work on the other side of the floor, and you only see them when you kind of bump into them in the bathroom. You do get chatting to people, and it is quite counterproductive.
Okay.
So I thought all of these people were being terribly sexist, but actually it did seem to make for a more productive working environment. So I'm all for them. I think they're great, provided everybody obviously cleans up after themselves.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just thinking back to kind of some of my situations, like at work. So at William Hill, the bookies, when I used to work in the bookies, in the backspace, you've got one toilet, and that's shared by every single member of the staff. So technically, that's a unisex toilet. So I kind of don't understand the argument, because obviously maybe I've seen unisex toilets. So I don't know. I'm just maybe going into things like that. But I also feel quite strongly about the people who say there's more than one two genders. I know there's more than one sexuality. You can be whatever sexuality you want to be, but gender-wise, I'm sorry, when you come out of the womb, you come out with either a male part or a female part. You don't come out as a gender neutral person, and I don't think you can come out as a gender neutral person. So for me, I feel quite strongly that there's only two genders. And again, that's probably my right wing kind of head coming out there, but sexuality, I totally on board. And I know there's hundreds of types of sexuality, and people can be how they want to be. But for me, you're either born a man or you're born a woman. Yes, you can transition into a man or a woman, but you can't transition into gender neutral.
But given that you don't mind sharing a loo, that doesn't matter anyway. So it's fine. If we're all okay with having kind of unisex spaces, then it doesn't become, people can identify as whatever they want, and everyone can use the same toilets, and it's all fine.
Yes, and I have no idea why we came down. Oh yeah, we came down this rabbit hole.
This is how Gordon Ramsay got us talking about toilets. I do not know. That's probably not the intention of his game show.
No, it's because we talked about Anne Robertson and kind of the cancel culture and things like that, and kind of wokeism, I suppose. But for me, I don't think there's anything wrong with Anne Robertson. I think it was of her time. It was funny. People won't get away with it now because people are a bit, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to enrage anyone who's listening, a bit snowflakey. And I don't mind saying that, and I don't mind getting the abuse about it, because they're my views, they're my opinions, and people don't have to agree with me on them, and they're right to. They have their own opinion. But for me, I just feel kind of I just feel people are being a bit more insensitive these days, and I think that's a bit sad. That's just me. Wow, what a tangent we got on. Just we're talking about Gordon Ramsay's bank balance.
Yeah, exactly. This is what Gordon Ramsay does to people. He sets them on a whole trajectory of ranting.
Yes. So, okay, Richard Hammond's Big. Where can we find it, and what nights is it on?
You can find it on. Oh goodness, don't ask me what nights it's on. You can find it on Quest. It's and I think it's on a Tuesday on Quest. It's also on Discovery and Sky. Sky obviously on demand, and you can get it from Amazon Prime, but you have to pay for it.
Okay. Well, I won't go on Amazon Prime because I can get it on Quest or whatnot. Other news: Superstore.
Yes.
Is on ITV2, and they're showing 2 episodes a week.
I saw that. Yes, I saw that it was on.
Yeah.
Which is great. This is good because we love that one. That's good.
I'm ploughing through the seasons at the moment. In fact, I had a spoiler by a friend. A friend of mine gave me a spoiler.
Spoilers.
No. She accidentally told me the spoiler because I was having a laugh and a joke with this person, and then they said this spoiler, and I was like, why did you tell me? I'm not that far ahead. So I've got that to come. So I know it happens, but yeah, I'm not going to say what the spoiler is. I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah, I've been given a spoiler and it's annoyed me a little bit. But there we go. Accidentally, of course. Right. So from Richard Hammond's big... God, we've gone on a big tangent today talking TV. Where are we going to next?
We're going to the BBC for their new crime drama series, which is called Bloodlands. So Bloodlands stars James Nesbitt, who plays DCI Tom Brannick. And it's basically a sort of cold case type drama where they're following up on some murders that happened. And it was just towards the end of the Troubles in Northern Ireland. The whole thing set in Northern Ireland. And it was allegedly covered up at the time. One of the 4 people who disappeared was Tom Brannick's wife. So he is trying to get to the bottom of it. It's kind of been unearthed. Something's triggered the opening of the case, and he's trying to get to the bottom of what happened, and obviously ultimately find out what happened to his wife. It's really good thing. It's only 4 episodes, an hour each, and it's one of these ones that they're releasing one episode at a time. So if you were watching it live, you'd have caught it at 9:00 this evening. Episode 2 is on at 9:00 this evening, and you'll be able to watch episodes 1 and 2 on iPlayer now.
Have you watched episode 2, or did you wait?
I have, yes.
Okay.
I just watched it. So it is good. I'm really enjoying it. I love a cold case drama, so I'm kind of it's just up my street. So I'm a big kind of Silent Witness fan, all of those kind of things. So yes, I really like it, but I also like James Nesbitt. I think he's a really good actor, and he does a lot of these kind of dramas, and I think he does them really well. So yes, so far so good. The rest of the cast, who I can't name, and I've actually not seen many of them in anything else, but they're all really, really good. So it ended on a bit of a cliffhanger tonight, but you can catch up before next Sunday.
Okay, so there we go. Bloodlands on Sunday nights from 9:00. Here is the trailer for Bloodlands.
In '98, a handful of us were made aware of a possible assassin. We called him Goliath.
These were cold-blooded executions.
Yeah, enough. He also murdered my wife.
So what happened?
Because of us.
I'm terrified, Daddy.
God help us if it's Goliath.
20 years, not caught. Still out there.
How's your daughter? Halt! One place!
Have you ever been closer?
At some point, the past has to die.
Not for me.
Bloodlands on BBC One and iPlayer.
So there we go, on BBC One and iPlayer. You catch it every Sunday evening from 9. Okay, from Bloodlands, where are we going to head to next?
Well, we are going across to ITV to what I can only describe as the partner show that's been put on to compete with Bloodlands, which is Unforgotten, which is a similar cold case crime drama series, which also launched last week, this time on a Monday night at 9:00. But this time it is series 4 of Unforgotten. So Unforgotten has been going for a few years. It stars Sanjeev Bhaskar and Nicola Walker, both of whom I absolutely love. And this is one that I kind of missed for the first couple of series. I caught season 3 and I loved it so much that I went back and watched the first 2. She's brilliant. She's in, so I watch her in The Split. She was in Spook. She's been in loads of things. Obviously, Sanjeev Bhaskar, originally from Goodness Gracious Me, but he's been in sort of more serious things since then. Another cold case drama. This time, it jumps around a bit. We've only seen the first episode. And as is often the case with these things, is you're meeting all of these characters, but you don't quite know how they tie together. And towards the end of the first episode, you get a bit of a hint of how they're all connected, but it jumps around a bit in the first one. But persevere, because Unforgotten is always brilliant. There are 6 episodes in season 4, and again, it's being leaked one at a time. Leaked, probably the wrong word. Aired one at a time on ITV on a Monday night. So you'll be able to catch the first one on iPlayer if you haven't seen it, and the second one will be available tomorrow.
Okay, so let's have a look at the trailer for Unforgotten.
I have to be here. I might as well do what I do.
Help, I lost myself again. The body of a man was found in a scrapyard on Thursday morning.
I haven't just had enough. I've been off sick.
What's happened to you guys?
The body we found in this freezer was not whole.
He'd been in there since the 90s.
But that's it. Debt paid.
There were 4 other people in the car with him.
You ask such asinine questions.
So we do this by the books, honey?
I've not dreamt of doing it any other way, boss.
6
What is this?
We might have a connection.
We're done.
We need some purchase on this pretty fast, or it dies. There is a small bit of me who wants to punish them.
Unforgotten.
So, do you know what? When I was probably a little bit younger and kind of wanted to sit with my family and watch kind of TV, this is something I probably would have watched. But in recent times, I've not really kind of sat down and watched kind of these programs. I think the last time I did that was with Bodyguard. Do you remember Bodyguard? Probably what, 2016?
Oh yeah, Bodyguard's great.
Was it 2016, 2017, around that time?
It was 2016 because the only thing that beat it in the ratings was the World Cup semi-final. So it must have been 2016.
The World Cup semi-final. Now, do you know what? I'm looking forward to the summer already because obviously we know we're coming out of lockdown thanks to Boris with this announcement. I can't wait because the Euros start kind of when we get to come out of lockdown fully. And I can't wait. I'm actually going to go to a fans park to watch an England game just so I can be in that atmosphere. It's missed that atmosphere. I'm just going to go to a fans park. I think they're near you as well, the fans park.
It's not far from me at all, actually. So yes, we could go but I don't know. I feel like I've been locked down too long, and that many people just scares the life out of me now.
Not when you've had a few beers down, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, Unforgotten. Just for me, do you know what? I think I'd love to watch it, but it's kind of one, finding the time, and two, I just don't really sit down with family anymore and just watch TV like we used to. I'm too busy because of the way we've got media and the way we can consume things. It just doesn't happen for me anymore. So it's a real shame because I do like these type of dramas and cases, and I do like a mystery.
Yeah, I mean, 9 o'clock used to be kind of the prime time for me, sort of, but now with lockdown, the boys going to bed a bit later. It all seems to 9 o'clock just seems to kind of fly by. But if you're going to sit down and watch something, this is definitely worth it. It's my kind of thing. I like being slightly scared by these things. I'm not a big fan of horror, but I like being slightly kind of edgy your seat with these things. And actually, the 6 episodes fly by really quickly. So because you're just, you want to know what happens next, and they make it really well. And so I was hoping there would be a 4th series. I didn't know there would be, and then suddenly it appeared in my what's coming up feed, and so I was thrilled to see it this week and very much enjoyed it.
Perfect. Okay, well, there we go. We've got fantastic TV recommendations there. Richard Hammond's big on Quest, Bloodlands on BBC One, and Unforgotten on ITV. Rachel, before we depart, do you have any TV news or anything else that we want to talk about?
Any TV news? Well, it's the Golden Globes this evening.
It is,
so
yes.
When I checked before I came on to speak to you, there was no announcements, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Gogglebox is back on our screens, which obviously we will have Gogglebox. And Line of Duty season 6 has its date, which is the 21st of March. So you still have some time to watch the first 5 seasons whilst you're still locked down, and catch up before season 6 arrives.
So there you go. Get involved and watch loads of TV. And don't forget to celebrate, because kids go back to school on the 8th of March.
Yes, they do. Happy days.
And then that's when we are fetching. No, what's the app called?
It's called Fetching, but
Fetching.
Yes, the company is real Fetching.
And that's the day Fetching will become
incredibly
massive.
Popular.
Yes, exactly. How is things going with that? Have you managed to reach target? Are you on target? Are you on track? What's going on?
We have smashed through the 50% mark, so
whoop, whoop.
That's good. No doubt due to your kindly letting me to mention it last week.
Yeah.
So we smashed through the 50% mark, so I'm feeling very positive about it. Only 2 more weeks to go of the raise, and hopefully then we'll have lots of money and you'll see us everywhere.
So if you are around, head over to Crowdcube, type in "We Are Fetching," and you'll be able to get involved and is it crowdfund? I don't know. What?
Yeah, it's called crowdfunding. But yes, you go to Crowdcube, you can invest in the company, in the future of childcare, the future of the school run, and yes, help us change the world.
There we go. Head over to Crowdcube, get involved. It's a good cause, because tell you what, if you need some childcare, fetching's the place to go. Rachel, can we do it all again next week?
Yes, we can.
Amazing. There we go. That was fabulous TV Rach giving us what to watch on the small screen. Coming up next, we're going to be talking gaming with the fabulous Pete Beckett from Rapid Reviews UK.